seen things you people wouldn't believe.
Hey, what's up guys? This is Brian at WhisperStatus74. Welcome to the community. Welcome to the channel. If this is the first time you were seeing me, please consider liking and subscribing. We are Real Tech for Real People. I want to be in front of the camera for the beginning of this video just to say hello, as you guys have not seen me. And I've mentioned in the comments that I was kind of hiding behind the camera. Yes, I am hiding some quarantine hair, which hopefully is going away in the next few days. I got the McConaughey, Hugh Jackman style going without actually looking like those gentlemen. Today we'll be talking about the LG CX. We'll be showing you variable refresh rate. We'll also be showing you footage of the X950H 4K LED from 2020 that does not have VRR. The reason why I'm showing you the two different displays, it was easier for me to capture screen tear on the Sony X950H than it was on the LG CX, even without variable refresh rate enabled. VR, I was totally stuttering right there. Enabled. It was easier for me to show it to you on the X950H. I won't be showing them side by side as the splitters do not have variable refresh rate pass through. I'm also going to be talking behind the camera as I exhibit the screen tearing on the Sony. This is not a video about Sony not having it. We've discussed that in the past, and we'll talk about that a little bit in an upcoming video. It doesn't have it. It doesn't matter for upcoming consoles. I don't think it does. I think the new consoles will focus 4K 60, so these displays can do 4K 60. The shortcoming is not on the display. It's on the Xbox One X. That is something that's very important to say. I'm not showing you that the LG is faster or better in any way. I make that very, very clear. What I want to make clear is that console games typically have VSync enabled built within them. PC gamers, we know that we have the choice of enabling vertical sync, pre-rendered frames. We can change certain adaptive VSync. The problem is VSync tends to hurt performance as far as frames per second. Variable refresh rate and G-Sync tend to give you better performance without losing frames, which is why it's so nice to have it on consoles. Will it matter upcoming? I don't believe it will, because I think they're going to focus on 4K 60. It does matter in this specific title. This is Modern Warfare. This is on the Xbox One X. This game has pretty bad screen tearing on the Xbox One X. It has it on the Sony X950H, has it on the Sony 900E, had it on the Vizio Quantum XP series. It does have it on the LG CX, but I thought I'd show you the difference between the two. As soon as VRR is enabled, that is completely gone. So all this talk of FreeSync not being enabled, no VRR, it's not the best FreeSync, it's not the FreeSync Premium or Pro, is all absolute nonsense. It is here, it is awesome, it works perfectly. I will illustrate that behind the camera. Also, quickly guys, the OLED looks blue due to the camera. The LED looks yellow due to the camera. I will try to get better cameras in the future, but you guys are making your decisions on which display is by videos from far away. I try to show you the best representation that I can. They're both awesome. They both look great. Yes, the OLED does push cooler. It's also a little bit cleaner. Yes, the LED looks a little bit more realistic. It's not quite as detailed. We're going to have a whole video discussing the differences between the two. But I just had to say that. You guys are really getting hung up on blue versus yellow, and it's interesting to say that. But I will show you the footage. I'll be talking behind the camera, but I wanted to say hello to you guys. I hope everybody is doing well. I have not done any content in the last 2 or 3 days. I've spent that time catching up in the comments, and I do appreciate the comments. I do appreciate direct questions. The comments have gotten a little bit toxic and a little bit crazy lately with the hate that the OLED is getting, or the hate that the Sony is getting. So I can't wait to see the hate that it's going to get if a Samsung rolls in here or any other brand, but it's not necessary. Please try and have the most positive discussions back and forth. These displays are both amazing. I am happy to have them both. Special thank you to Value Electronics for supplying the X950H. Check out their website in the description and check out their gallery once it reopens and all this craziness is over. I also purchased the LG CX. Special thank you to Robert and Wendy Zahn. Let's get to the video. I will show you screen tearing. Again, important now, something Samsung has enjoyed as well. I don't think it's going to be as important. So if you have this display, if you have them, don't get too upset with it. Don't think that you're going to have screen tearing in upcoming titles, because you're not going to. 4K 60 will be the target. And if it's 4K 120, that's going to be up to the developers. It's not going to be something you absolutely need, but I will show you in one instance where it definitely helps having the LG CX. I'll see you behind the camera. All right, guys, here we are running a little bit of a private match on COD. Now, I want you to look up in the top left or middle corner of the screen. And what you'll see at certain points is screen tearing. What I'll do is I'll edit it out to where, you know, you're not having to watch me play for 10 minutes. But you'll see it at the top of the screen. And Modern Warfare is probably the only modern game I've seen on the Xbox One X that really has any noticeable screen tearing, due to the fact that a lot of games have VSync enabled, you know, through the game itself. You see it right here. You see that? So right below where it says, man, right before where it said any parking. Let's see if I can trigger that again. So we'll cut through here. Look underneath that. See if maybe it's the building that's creating it. So right underneath here, you can see it. Right underneath where it says road, any road, you'll see the screen roll a little bit. See by the sign? You see the screen tear? Make sure it's showing up on camera. Yep, you see it right there. Now this is more of a problem on 360. You'll see it more on Xbox One. What variable refresh rate will take care of is sync the frames to what the GPU is putting out, or the console in this case is putting out. Oops, I kicked my camera. Let's see if we can get another example of it really quick. Now this is on the Xbox One X, so it's going to be more pronounced on the standard Xbox One or the PS4. Come on, I'm trying to do a test here. Now, it's more noticeable on PC gaming simply because you can control VSync in PC gaming if you want. On consoles, you are always kind of stuck. This is the freaking CPU that's giving me a problem. Kidding me? Oh my god. Should turn out a difficulty on these bots. And I'm sure if I wanted to go into Warzone, it would be worse. You see it here. Now look up here. See it jump? It just jumps a little bit. This has nothing to do with the Sony or LED versus OLED or anything. This is variable refresh rate that we're going to implement on the LG. This time you can see at the top of the screen here. Let me get rid of the horizontal banding. Son of a gun. You should be able to see it right here. Okay, here I'll turn up the, so you can see how. All right, look over by in here. See that skip? You'll see right underneath where it says yellow building on the HUD. you'll see it jump. I don't know why it causes it during certain times and not certain times, but it's there. Now, does it make or break the experience in multiplayer? I don't personally think it does in terms of fidelity. Now, in a single player game, that would annoy the heck out of me. Okay, here, I'll turn up the, so you can see how, all right, look over by, in here. See that skip? You'll see right underneath where it says yellow building on the HUD. You'll see it jump. I don't know why it causes it during certain times and not certain times, but it's there. Now, does it make or break the experience in multiplayer? I don't personally think it does in terms of fidelity. Now, in a single player game, that would annoy the heck out of me. Now, here we are on the LG CX. And you can see there is no screen tear. And the responsiveness is instantaneous. So look up in the same area that we were looking up with the Sony. Now remember, this is not a picture quality demo. This is screen tear. Jesus. I really gotta chill with these bots. Nothing. Doesn't matter which way. And the responsiveness as far as how quickly you can snap to a target. So is VRR worth, the price of admission? Is it something? I think it's amazing to have, but with titles from consoles that have built-in VSync, very few games have screen tearing. To me, on PC, G-Sync, FreeSync on PC, if you have an AMD card, is completely worth it if you can do it. But as far as consoles, we'll see if it really does help. With all titles, it definitely helps with this one. Completely responsive, no problems. And if you look in the skybox, same area where we saw it before on the chimney here. Nothing. Same area here. Completely smooth. So that's variable refresh rate on the LG CX. Very responsive. I'm sure if I went into Warzone, you could see more of it. But again, here, Jesus. Again, here where we were before, how much faster it is. And even when I pan slow, no frame pacing, no skipping, no screen tearing at all, no matter where you are on the screen. All right, different map. I'm back on the Sony. You're seeing it there, right on this corner of the building. Now look here. See it? There's a little bit of lag there, but what I don't understand is why it's there and not there, depending on what's on screen. But see it right there. Yep, see it?
Enemy at the warehouse.
Now, obviously, you see me test this out, you're going to say, a lot of you are going to say, well, if I have to try this hard to make it happen, is it a big deal? I'm not saying it's a huge big deal. What I'm saying is that this is what people are talking about with screen tear. Yep, see it? Right by here? Look up here. When you'll see me get it here. See that?
Enemy at the mine carts.
All right, we'll switch back to the CX. On the CX, now I know I'm going to hear how blue the CX is. That's not showing up on camera. Or it's showing up on camera. I'm not seeing it here. But that's not the point of the video. The video is variable refresh rate. Variable refresh rate. So we were looking here last time. Go up, go down. So the idea is just to be as seamless as possible. Now, if it's important to you, that's up to you guys, but I want to just be able to illustrate without, FPS counters, things of that nature. It's not really what I do here, but just to show you what the real world implications are and why you don't see it and why people talk about VRR and G-Sync and why it's a big deal. Now, on PC, like I mentioned before, to me it's a much bigger deal because if your hardware is struggling, the screen tearing can be terrible. V-Sync can be very jarring, which is what a lot of our games that
So
we
now at the
have
end of
on
this clip, I'm going to
console
show
have a
you
built-in
some
V-Sync,
gameplay
which is
with
why
it
they feel
actually in
laggy,
HDR to see how good the
typically at 30
CX actually
FPS.
looks.
On PC, using V-Sync, people hate it because it lags down their performance. V-Sync, G-Sync puts them in sync. There's no issues, and it does look phenomenal. Alright guys, that is my quick video comparing these two. I will have an HDR splitter coming in tomorrow. I'll be able to compare these in HDR. You'll see the difference between the way they look. Right now, neither one of these is in HDR. Alright guys, thank you so much, and I will see you in the comments. Take care. Now really quickly, putting the game back in HDR to show you responsiveness. Especially before we're having all these issues right here. Nothing. And the game looks very good. As far as OLED being too dark, just really not a lot that I'm finding that makes it look too dark. It's definitely a cooler image. but definitely something that you can get out with either calibration or actually changing the color temperature. But again, that's not what this video was about. You see the gun on the flames on the gun. Hopefully with the HDR splitter, I'll be able to compare these two titles. But they won't be able to pass through variable refresh rate though. Same area we were having a problem with over here. I ran this on the Sony without any bots in it, and I was getting the same issues. But I wanted to be able to just show you kind of back and forth on any problems. Now here on the same map we were having before where we struggled. Man, this looks so blue on the camera. Again, not what I'm seeing here, but no issues with any frame problems. No matter what I do. All right, guys.